Hi, Tony from CrewAI. Well, first of all, I want to start by saying we have a lot of awesome stuff lined up for you all coming up in the next few weeks. So if you haven't signed up for your CrewAI account yet, go ahead and sign up at app.crewai.com today so you don't miss any of this when we roll it out. I want to give you a quick preview of one of the most coolest features that we'll be launching here pretty soon. It's called Studio V2. The name will change. Don't get hung up on that too much. So when you're building crews, you've probably been used to building it locally and then uploading into a platform and then running. Well, we have Studio V2 now that we are working on at the moment, and that's why it's still in beta. So we're still adding some upgrades, early access. And if you don't know where to sign up, contact us, let us know. We might give you access to it. But in the meantime, I just want to give you a quick preview of what that would look like once it's ready and done. What this platform here gives you access to is to be able to chat your way to an agent, chat your way to a crew, can automate a specific workflow. So you just tell it what you want to build, down to work, and builds it for you. We are actually using CrewAI flows under the hood to build these agents for you themselves. Basically dogfooding ourselves, using crews and flows to build other automations on top of that. There's also an option here. So if you don't like chatting your way to an agent, for example, you can just go ahead and drag and drop, because if you're used to that, then that makes it much easier, right? So you have options here to do. So here you see agent. You can actually come here and actually change the name of the agent, the role, goal, backstory. Just type in here. So it's easy to just kind of put your words, whatever you want. Pick your LLM, of course, that you prefer for that agent. And then also there's advanced options here of stuff that you can do. So here you can add reasoning and you could toggle it back on off. You can set the temperature and things like that, and then just save it. And that will be saved there as your agent there. If you want, you can add a task as well and then assign that task. Once you've done the same thing here with the task as well, stuff that you would usually add to your YAML file is what you add in here. So the name of the task, the description, and the expected output. You can also put async execution as well if you want. How do you then connect to the agent that you built? So you just drag and drop. You've already connected to it. What's remaining? Probably connecting it to a tool, right? That does something for you. So let's say it's just a site.txt here. Then connect it directly to the agent as that tool that it's going to use, and the agent will be able to use that as a tool. That's all you have to do here. And then these other integrations here, of course, that we've added that are pretty cool that I'll show you here in a second. Stuff that we've added here as integrations that you've probably seen out there, things like Asana, Box, ClickUp, Confluence, GitHub, Gmail. It's a long list, and we'll be adding a lot more in here as well. But that is on the manual side of doing things. How about we just kind of delete this and just chat, because we don't want to do the manual building, right? If you don't want to. So we're going to delete all this, and then we're going to just chat our way into an agent here. And another thing to note as well, there's a shared state between these two sides. So if you start from the chat and then you want to add some stuff from here manually, there's a shared state between them. So you won't lose any stuff that you've done before that. So let's go ahead and close this side and actually just run an example here in real time. Let's say we want to build an agent that does something specific here. So what I decided to build here is an agent that, given a city name, it can search for all current home listings with the preferred price from the user and send them a final report to their email. What's happening here, you can see we have our agent, which is our flow. They're actually building these agents under the hood. So there's some thinking that it's doing, figuring out what agents do I need to build, what tools do I need to assign to this agent. And you'll see here, it's all and solve. I'm not touching anything. It's things. So it's building all this while we're talking. So you can see already here, it has some stuff that is added. So first of all, it decided to create a real estate agent, and it's using Serper actually go search the web. And you can see here, it has a task for it. So search home listing. And then we have a report compiler, and this report compiler will analyze whatever it's been generated by this research agent and generate a final report, which then is used by the email agent here to send me an email directly. And as you noted here, and this is still running, or actually it's finished. Let's go ahead and close the tab on the side so we can have full view of all the agents that we have here. If we look here, we have a real estate agent. This is the researcher, and you can actually toggle and see what the prompts are. And if you actually even want, you can actually still edit this prompt. So if you think this prompt is not as you want it, you can go ahead, edit it as much as you want. Or if you think this is good, that's good to go. You can change the LLM from there as well if you want to change the LLM, and add reasoning if you want. So here we can just add reasoning as well and toggle it and then save it. And that's good to go for that piece. And then there's the other agent here for report compilation. We can also just add reasoning for it. And this is here on the task. You can see that it has a task as well. And this applies for all of them. So you can modify that as you need. Let's go ahead and toggle reasoning on for the report generation. And we are done with that piece right there, and just save it. That's going to take a sec. Any changes you make, just make sure you save it. The other cool part is the tool here. So you'll see we have Gmail integrated already. And I'm going to show y'all where this is, where you can turn into these integrations on, or how do you connect to actually have Gmail selected here. So if you see under Gmail, there's tools within Gmail that the agent can use, but you can pick which ones you want it to use. So for example, here there's one for sending emails, one for getting an email by an ID, deleting emails, creating contact, and so many others, creating a draft in email as well. So there's so many of them here. So you can tell which one you need on, but here the agent figured out we just want to send an email after the report, so it toggled on the email. But if you wanted, you could just come change it and maybe say save it in a draft or something of that sort. So this is where you would come customizations there a bit as well. But this is the entire flow here. If you want to run it, you just hit the run button. This will run it before you actually deploy it. So you can do some iterations on top of what you built first before you actually get to the point where you actually deploy. But if you think this is good and it looks great, you just hit the publish. When you hit publish, it publishes this automations that you've created directly to the CrewAI Enterprise platform. That way you can call it from an API or call it from Slack or whatever you want to really call it from. The cool part about it, there's also a download button where you can actually download this entire crew and do extra stuff that you want to do with it locally on your own system. So let's just go ahead and run it first of all. So if you hit run, the agent is going to start running, but it asks you for information. So let's say here, I'm going to say San Mateo to be specific, California. So I just wanted to look for homes in San Mateo, and then preferred price less than 1 million. And then the recipient, we're just going to send it to my email so that it sends me a report to my personal work email there. So that's all we've set, and you'll see the final preview here of what that looks like in the final prompt. And just hit execute, and you'll see it starting to run. And if you want to monitor what the agents are doing when the execution is started, you can actually just come here. There's an execution tab here. So if you hit execution, you will see it happening in real time. So you see the real estate researcher is already kind of kicked off, and it says started. So this is the prompt that it's already kind of put together from all our input, and it's going straight to research. So you see here the LLM call. It's already searching the input that it's going to pass the server to search the website, Zillow.com, San Mateo, homes for sale under 1 million. So that is what it decided to go with. And there's the results from SERPer that it did, and you see this quite a lot. And then you see here LLM call that it found, and another call that it did search as well, under 1 million as well. There's a LLM call that came, and you see that it has some listings that it got from that. And then there's a completed report from the researcher here of what it found, and it found a few of them. But here we go to the next agent, which is the report compilation agent. And if you see here, we have more like the prompt of what it was supposed to generate or what's going to actually use it to generate. And then you see the LLM call that it got back. And this is the final answer that it generated from the research that it received. And then you have the completed version here of the final report from it. And then now we go to the email send. So you'll see the prompts that it has here, which is send a professional email containing the comprehensive home listings report to my email here. And there's another LLM call here. You will see that it's structuring that content into HTML, which will be actually compatible for my email to send it through my email. And you'll see another tool here, which is the send email. So this is where it triggers it to send the email to me. And you'll see here ID, which is final finish. You see the thread, label IDs, unread, sent, inbox, and you'll see the LLM call there that's saying, it's already sent, and you'll see the completion message, it's already sent. But the cool thing here as well, if you come here, you'll see that you have raw messages as well. So you'll be able to receive raw messages of exactly what happened throughout the process. You have raw data is in JSON. And this is applicable to all the agents. If you just go through all the agents, you'll see the messages. And you see the message, you have the system prompt of what was passed to the LLM based on what your inputs you put in. And also there's the system prompts that has already been added. You'll see the full visibility into the system prompt that the agent received. You'll see also the user prompt. And this is what it got from you as well here, or what it got from the other agent and is passing in as a user message to that next agent. And you'll see the final results as well. And you can get it as JSON as well. So that is done. It's actually sent me an email. I'm going to go to my email and I'll show you exactly what that looks like on the final report. All right. So here's my email. I got it in my inbox less than a minute ago. So here it is. San Mateo, California, home listings under $1 million. So I went and found some properties here. I actually found one, I believe. That's the only one under $1 million. And this is in 1993, Shoreview Avenue, San Mateo. And it even gave me a link that I can actually go there and check it out. So let's click on this link and see if it's the real thing or if it's just not it. So we'll see here. There it is. But that's more than $1 million theoretically. Let's see. This is the estimated market value of this home. That works. So last time it was sold 2019. But we don't want to go too much into that because at the end of the day, it went ahead, found some homes, single family located, desirable Shoreview neighborhood. This home offers potential for first-time buyers or investors looking for a family-friendly home. It has extra information of what it needs to do here. Under 1 million is characterized by limited inventory. So I think it found the least that it could find from that site. And it gave me some extra information here that it thinks that would be valuable to me as well. So that kind of really summarizes the entire aspect of this demo. And if you want to finish this as well, once you've already kind of got to this point, you can just hit publish. And if you hit publish, it's going to directly send it to our platform and get it deployed. So that way you can be able to go back and see and run it actually, or have it as an API that other people can use within your organization as well. The other thing with it as well, if you go here to automations and you'll see it actually getting deployed, it takes about 10 minutes. That should be much faster soon here with the stuff that we're adding in here as well. The other thing that I wanted to show is the integrations page, where we do have integrations where you saw how it added an email to my account and it was able to use that as a tool to be able to send me an email. So there's elements that you can auth into. So here you will see that it's kind of loading everything. So if you see here, For example, we have some options here. So chat with the crew, export as a React component, or export as an MCP server. So you can use any of the agents that you built, MCP server on Cloud or any other client. And then also you can use this chat with the crew, and it just opens a new chat area where you can actually just chat with that agent and get it, send the request. It will chat with it here as well from what happens from that. So here's an example of what I chatted with it last time, and you see that it went ahead and did everything that it needs to do there to gather information. You can create another chat window, and the other cool thing about it as well, you can just deploy it and you can share it with other people. So you see publish link, copy the link, share with other people within the organization. They're able to actually interact with that same agent that you just shared with them as well. But going back to the authentication section, so we have connectors. This triggers integrations or where you can trigger your crew from. So for example, if you are on Slack and you want to call your agent and give him a task to do, and then it will report back to you with the final details within Slack, you can do that here. There's a Slack channel. You build a Slack line, connect to it, and run it there. Then there's HubSpot. You can connect to the HubSpot, Zapier, and Salesforce. Then down here, we have the authenticated integration. So the popular SaaS application or just applications that you use frequently. So you have Gmail, Google Sheets, and it's just a whole lot of Gmail calendar there as well, Google Drive. So once you auth into them, and a good example would be even like clicking this HubSpot one here, you can see what happens. You get this window where you actually just connect and it pops up a authentication window. You authenticate to it. Then whenever you're building your crew using Studio, when you tell it exactly what you wanted to do, like get some leads from HubSpot, process them and send them to my email, it will already know what tools it needs. And if you already authenticated to them, it just adds them directly to the entire crew that it's building. So that was a quick preview of stuff that's coming up. So this should make it easier for everybody to build agents by just typing and getting stuff done. And you can see that we did this in a few minutes. If you haven't signed up, please go to app.crewai.com and sign up today for early access. With that, see you in the next video. Bye.